Here we are, Thursday, April 6th, 2023. I'm Larissa. Morning. My video diary. Time to drink some skulls, huh? So, see, the world's collapsing, right? It must be all my fault. If you talk to anybody in my family, they'd say it is. Yeah, because I'm that powerful. Kind of idiots, right? Yeah. They don't care when shitty stuff happens to me. It's been that way my entire life. Like, I remember one time as a kid, I had lice. My dad had just gotten a job at AT&T, and there was an open house. And I gotten lice on a vacation in a rented house. We'd gotten lice. I was scratching my head. My mom was like, "Stop it! People are gonna think you're dirty. You're dirty. You're dirty. Stop it! You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me." Turned out I had fucking lice. Oh, but I was embarrassing. Dirty little kid. Same thing. I got worms one time when I was a kid. This is common things. People's kids get this stuff all the time. You learn that when you're at school, when you're a teacher, right? Quit touching yourself. Quit touching yourself. I itched. I was a kid. I itched. And it turned. You're being dirty. Quit being so dirty. Oh, I had worms. Right. Never got any apologies for that shit. Right. My whole life, something really shitty happens to me, and I get hurt, and I got punished for it, for being hurt. Right. Nothing bad happened to you. Okay. That's what my family is. Not just my mom, my dad, all of them. All of them are like that. All right? Got hit in those accidents head on, 65 miles an hour, going to work, because I had to work while I was in school, unlike my sisters, right? They got everything given to them. And they made fun of me, said I was, Larissa's just a bad driver. Almost died, but they made jokes about it. That's what my family is. I don't know why. I don't know why they all hate me like that. And it's not just now that I'm an adult. It's been that way my entire life. My entire life. Oh, maybe if I had gone to Pitt and studied math and science and been like Daddy. Or maybe if I had just been a school teacher or whatever. Seriously, I was coping with, in high school, I was coping with being routinely sexually assaulted, right? And I got punished for smoking cigarettes. Oh my God, it's like the worst thing you can fucking do. Right? Because it was embarrassing to them. It was embarrassing to them. Don't want them to look bad, right? Never, "Hey Larissa, what's going on with you?" Never. Never when I was a kid, never now. Think they know everything. Right? It's called, in the codependent family, or in the dysfunctional narcissistic family, it's called being the identified patient or the scapegoat, right? The one you pile all of your misfortune onto, the one that you talk trash about, the one who's always the sick one, right? Except that I wasn't sick, I was abused. So there's a difference. Yeah. And I'm not sick. No. I'm not. So, yesterday, I got the next piece in the series. It's probably going to be the last one in this series. I got it started. I got it cut out. All right. I got it all cut out. And, I cut it out the day before. I got pieces stitched together, and it's really challenging because of the materials. We'll see how the piece is when it's finished. Right? It's was watching this clip this morning. I only watched it briefly. Oh gosh, when I was going to church all the time, there were women like this. A woman talking about going to Italy and seeing St. Clair, and I learned all about her life. You're just now learning about her life. You got a daughter who you say is is wrestling with the call, and this is the first year learning about St. Clair, and you're acting all pious and shit. Oh my God. I had so many feelings about stuff. I do. And it's just whining about what vows are and that shit. And it's just like, ugh. It's because parents are like that. Parents are like that. That's why there's the whole separation. Why you have to take yourself away from your family, right? It's because people are like that. You could tell, like her piety was this woman's narcissism, right? It's like that with so many people in the church. So many people in the church. Yeah. It's totally like that. Mm-hmm. I'd love to know what happened to those paintings that were stolen out of my house. Yeah. Yeah, so it's the church isolates people and um people who they think, have some sort of special connection, right? They isolate them and abuse them, particularly if they're women. They do that. They do that. Hmm. Whether you become a cloistered nun or not, they do that. Yeah. So that the men can take credit for whatever discovery or work that the women do. Hmm. That's how that goes. Yeah, it's an abuse of women. This one's like, oh, I don't know if I with her. I don't know if I want her to go into doing that. Blah 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 blah. If that's something that she's thinking about now, it doesn't matter whether she joins or not. The church is going to do that to her, right? If she doesn't join, they'll drug her up and make her into a retard or make her out to be crazy so that nobody will listen to her. So, sorry, your daughter's screwed either way. And it's all because of your your false piety, right? Yeah. Irritates me. Irritates me. Totally irritates me. Yeah. I had a crazy dream last night. I did. It was in church, actually. It was in a church. It was in church in Anniglow, but not the Orthodox church. It was in the Catholic church there, St. Mary's. I've been in that church. Yes, I have. In the church proper, not in the rec room, the all-purpose room. I've been in the church proper there. That's where this was. This dream took place in that church at St. Mary's up in Anniglow. I had some choice words with some people. Oh, and there was Ed was there, which was really weird because it was Ed Leeds. Ed Leeds. I had a dream and you were in it. Is Ed Leeds dead? Oh, what the hell he was doing up at the church in Nanny Glow, I don't know. Because the Leeds didn't live in Nanny Glow. But yeah, crazy. Had a nice conversation with Ed Leeds in my dream last night. Yes, I did. Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to sue Dominican Hospital. I'd love to. They better not send me any more fucking bills. They better not send me one more goddamn bill. Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh, the virtuous piety, the fake facade. It just, ugh. They perfected at Curcio. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, tell me about your God moment. Oh, tell me about your God moment. What's your God moment today? Please. Every goddamn moment you're alive is a God moment. What's your God moment? Disgust me. Totally disgust me. Oh. Oh, and I was watching this morning a clip from a talk from Camille Paglia. She was talking about androgyny. Yeah, it's interesting because like I've had that feeling, but it comes down to sex role stereotypes and the expectations that your genitalia assigns you by people who are very close-minded, right? Like there doesn't need that whole push, that whole thing. It comes from oppression and saying, "Oh, girls can't do this and boys can't do that because doing those things is what makes you a girl or a boy." And so now, because of that rampant sexism and patriarchy, right? That these actions are for girls and these actions are for boys. These clothes are for girls. These clothes are for boys. Now there's this big push, right? There's this big backwards push. It's like, oh, okay, so I got to have those body parts. So now we're all going to cut ourselves up because we want to do these other things, right? The boys club things or the girls club things, right? And that's not the way that goes, right? And I think that there's my personal belief is that there's more behind that. That those who are having those issues are unable to detach from past lives where they were incarnate in different types of vessels, right? For me, that explains the whole like furries and everything. I watched this clip with this young woman or young person, who only felt comfortable wearing a dog mask, right? Dressing like a dog. And she was very serious about it. Like, it wasn't a joke. She was probably treated like an animal by community and family. And in coupled with that, probably spiritually, had been incarnate as a dog previously. And so she's like, all right, I kind of remember this. This is how I feel comfortable. People are so abusive. They are. They're so abusive. I wanted to hug that poor person when I saw that. I was like, oh. Anyway. I don't understand why we have to continue to have so much shame about having a body, period. Right? Why? Why do we have to feel shame for having a body? Why? What kind of sense does that make? It doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make any sense at all. None. Hey, Pope, can you breathe yet? They fix your lungs. Heard the Pope was in the hospital with a respiratory infection. Ooh. Yeah? They're giving you better treatment than I got. Are you actually getting treatment? Oh, Larissa doesn't get any. I'm not allowed to have any, right? Because I don't follow your fucking rules. That's why you can keep your bread at your own fucking table. You can keep your wine at your own fucking table. I don't want it. I have my own. You and all your crazy minions. Oh, it makes me so angry. It does. Just gotta let it go. Right? The thing about anger, like with Reiki practice, and you have your, just for today, I will not anger, blah, 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 blah. Do my work with integrity, be kind to all beings. I will not worry, I will not anger. The thing is, yeah, like that's an ideal. That's why they're called the Reiki ideals, right? They're the Reiki ideals. That's what your goal is. And you can come back to that, be like, okay, just let it go. I'm not gonna be angry about this. It's out of my control, right? But anger is a very real thing. It's a very real human thing. And it is appropriate, right? Like it is just as it can bring just as much dis-ease to a being if you suppress your anger and don't find um, ways of expressing it, productively or healthily, as it will if you as it will if you just allow yourself to rage, right? This was my big issue. Why this is why why I turned on the Industrial Areas Foundation after I went to do their training. Um, when I went to do their training, they practice techniques in stoking and cultivating anger. And I believe that that is very dangerous. I believe it is dangerous and psychologically cruel, right? To instigate anger, right? Instead, there are natural places where anger is appropriate, but to artificially stoke and then manipulate somebody's anger, I think is reprehensible.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Oops.
I think it's divisive. I think it's politically divisive. And then when I learned, when Ernesto Cortez said you got to follow the money, right? And then in the same breath said that the organization is funded almost entirely by Catholic Charities. Catholic Charities does not give money to anything that isn't sanctioned by the Vatican, right? I was like, oh, oh. Right? Industrial Areas Foundation was behind the Barack Obama Joe Biden campaign. Yeah. So who funded that? Catholic Charities. Who approved that? The Vatican. Follow the money. Yeah. Sorry to burst your bubbles. Sorry. Not sorry. So all this bullshit, all this bullshit, gender bending bullshit and everything, it's all manufactured. It's all manufactured. It's all manufactured by the anti-choice agenda. All of it. It was created. All of this gender unrest, right? Was created. Was manufactured intentionally. To divide the faithful. Right? To push through an agenda of a Christian nation. What the hell? Theocracy. They want to rise. They want to rise. See, if they push through theocratic rule, right? Then the only natural course then is for monarchy to arise. It'll be weird. It'll go through like a reversal. Go from theocracy to feudalism to monarchy, right? Maybe we'll skip the feudalism. Probably not. Feudalism and anarchy are so closely related, aren't they? Oh, yeah. That'd be crazy. That's why they want to take away all the guns. They want to guarantee who has them, right? So glad I don't have children. So glad. So glad I don't have children. Your kids are all going to end up having been conscripted into the military and going to war or being in prison camps. That's the future for children. As far as I can tell. I should do a card reading, huh? Maybe I'll do that today. Maybe I'll take my cards to the gallery. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I gotta get up. I got shit to do. I got shit to do.